Benvenuti a Ciao Bella. I'm your host, Erica Firpo. For the past 20 years, I've made my home in Rome, where I've worked as a journalist contributing to publications including Afar, Washington Post, Lonely Planet, and Travel and Leisure. I love sharing the stories of Italy's pioneering creators, and I'm bringing these stories directly to you on Ciao Bella. Every week, I'm joined by contemporary artists, heritage artisans, designers, culinary experts, innovative aesthetes, and more. At the crossroads of evolution and tradition, the past and the future, they are working and creating to define and redefine 21st century Italy. Join me as we see Italy through their eyes. See Naples and Die, Goethe wrote in 1787, because Napoli as a city was that amazing. But it's not just the streets, the eats, and the gorgeous bay view that makes Napoli one of my constant go-to cities. It's the Museo Archaeologico Nazionale di Napoli, MAN, one of the foremost archaeological museums in the world. With its frescoed ceilings, monumental staircase, luminous rooms, and unbeatable collection of antiquities and artifacts from Pompeii, ancient Rome, and Egypt, MAN is the mecca for archaeo lovers. But MAN doesn't want to be stuck in the past. Join me as I talk with MAN director Paolo Giulierini about what makes the museum so special and what MAN is doing to bring antiquity into the future. First, I want to say, incredible.
See?
Incredible. And incredible in for two reasons. This show, I can't wait to see it complete, but also because we were here for the Byzantino show.
Yes.
And the feeling that I had when I walked through there and then coming back and seeing this new show is that I said, wow, this museum is amazing because it feels young. You've been able to create this feeling like it's not stagnant. And when you're dealing with a museum of antiquities and archaeology, it's kind of hard. And so, complimenti.
Grazie. We have a lot of specialists and a lot of people that work very well in this museum.
I mean, you have a great team, and your team is so passionate.
Yes.
Which makes me really excited because that passion is really transmitted into every show. And not just the temporary shows, but also even all the installations. So it's really exciting because I feel I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the museum. On the world level, it's a star.
Passion is the secret for the work.
I have 3 questions that I wanted to ask you. The first question is, I just wanted to ask if you could tell our listeners a little bit about the show.
The exhibition of Alexander is the travel of Alexander from Macedonia to India, but I think that is not an experience of the war, but the knowledge of the other people, other culture. This is the secret and the point more important of the exhibition. The knowledge, the teaching of the people. And this is the new point of view, not the conquest, but the knowledge.
Well, I had a quick walk through and I saw one of the pieces the pieces are all beautiful, and I saw that a lot of them are from here. There's from the Louvre, there's from Hamburg, Leeds, and Greece. But what I thought was really interesting was that ivory piece, the Ivorio, quel pezzettino piccolino, that
La nostra?
Sì, è la vostra. And it was really interesting because I thought what was also really interesting was I did not know it's a small statue of a goddess, but it was found in Pompeii. So an Indian goddess that was found in Pompeii.
Yes.
I think that was also really interesting to see the influence not just of Alexander in the East, but also here, and the influence of bringing the East back here.
The ancient world is a world
more connected,
more that we think. For example, in Pompeii, we know the graffiti of the ship, the Oceanian ship that can arrive in India with the monsoni.
The monsoons, yeah.
This technical can permit the two current of commerce. from India arrive in Pompeii, but also before, for example, the pepper, the skin, and other material like the ivory, for example. And this is very important, and I think that arrive other object, but non si sono conservati.
They're not preserved.
For example, the silk. We see the silk in the frescoes, but we have not the silk. And the Indian is very important because is come se fosse un sogno, diciamo così.
It's like a dream.
Dream for the old European. But we have also the Oriental in Pompeii, for example. So in Pompeii we have the Judean, we have the Egyptian, for example. We have the temple of Isis temple. Is the society very multicultural. This is great knowledge and is most important now because our city, the mixed community. In Naples, for example, we have the Chinese, Greek, Egyptian, Indians. And I know that the antiquity is mixed, is più facile.
More simple to understand that we can mix also today.
This is very important. Qualcuno dice che un tempo c'erano solo gli italiani, non è vero? Non sono mai esistiti gli italiani.
He's saying that someone once said that there were only Italians.
The tolerance through the knowledge. This is important.
I have one other question that I wanted to ask you about the man in general. What do you feel that man, the Museo Archeological, it represents for Naples and for the world?
For the world, the museum represents one of the most important museum of the classical archaeology. In fact, we have organized in 8 years 300 exhibitions in all the world. 300.
300?
300.
In 8 years?
In 8 years.
That's a lot.
In 4 continents.
You saw our deposits.
Yeah. Exactly. We only saw one part, right?
In 4 continents. But now also the next exhibition in Africa, perché ci mancava l'Africa, ma ne realizzeremo una. We will organize.
Is that Algeria?
In Algeria.
Yes. Wow.
Algeria. Okay. For Naples, I hope that this museum represents not only a classical museum, but a square. A square where the people arrive, can speak, can reflect not only about past, but about present. Through a contamination, through the compare the past with the present. We worked for the new service for in particular for the young people and per I poveri, insomma, per i quartieri in difficoltà. Because
it's not only for rich people, and in the vision of the director, the connection also with the parts of the society, because also the museum it's in the middle of an area that is at the borders of the historical center. That is UNESCO heritage. But just behind us, there are some parts of the city very popular. And the museum, not in theory, but in the realization, talks with those realities. For example, a few years ago, we still realize projects with the educative structures on the territory.
Yes.
It means the structures for
the prison,
for
example.
prisons, for young people that have parents in jail. And there are these structures on the territory to employ the time, the free time of these children. They are young people that have both parents dead or in jail, and they live they are not prison, but they don't live with their family for different reasons, for abuses and so on. So we organize programs or lessons and visits and laboratories for those peoples. So the museum have a dialogue with all the connections of the city, all the parts of the city. So director speaks with rich people that can finance exhibitions, but also with people that have nothing to give to us from a material point of view, but can enrich the museum in a global way.
Yes. And I think also that the museum is in original fruit of the propaganda of the Roman Empire, of the Greek, of the state. If I go in the museum, I see the Roman that Roman che vince,
The winners.
the German. I think that we must speak also about other people. Because is important not only the point of view of Rome or Athens of the European. It's more important. I think this is a little revolution because it's very very hard for the European recognize it. For example, the China's empire. But the reality is more the ancient world. This is not only the world of the Romans of the Greek.
I think what you're doing is great because I really do feel like you're creating a new archaeological museum for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Director Giulierini and Mann for making this episode happen. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. The editor of Ciao Bella is Mastro. Production manager is Jenna Spray. If you're new to Ciao Bella, take a peek at ciaobella.co, our all-encompassing Italy-focused website, where you'll find insider insight on contemporary Italy, and sign up for our newsletter for new episodes and articles. Follow me on Instagram at Erica Firpo, and follow Ciao Bella on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen. Leave us a rating or comment. Ciao, ciao!